It is with humility, pride, and great optimism that I take on this role for Autumn and close out a much-needed annual meeting that allowed us to gather again in person with so many friends, colleagues, and peers. Of course, not all of our friends could be with us, and we have missed having them here. My friends and Autumn members, we deserve to be optimistic. Optimistic about the outcomes our work is generating, optimistic about the support our work is garnering, and optimistic about the future of our industry, our profession, our craft. There are many reasons for this. First, the spotlight on us is brighter than it has ever been. The challenge isn't a burden, of course. Policymakers, stakeholders, and even the general public may not know it, but we rise to these challenges all the time. On each of our complex campuses, in each of our tough negotiations, when we're called upon to do things because nobody else can, and when we need to come together to ensure the assets that we shepherd can solve some of the world's most daunting problems, like a global pandemic. We've been doing this for years, and we'll keep doing it for many more. The new spotlight afforded us by the aforementioned pandemic, though, brings some aid to our ever-present challenge of communicating our worth. Because now the world can't refute the importance of the efficiency, the savvy, the sophistication, the ethics with which we do our work. Second, the talent in our pool, in our offices and on our teams right here in this room is top-notch, and it's getting even better. There are a ton of go-getters in this room, Swiss Army knives, uniquely experienced individuals with diverse knowledge about things that are so remote to so many, but so important to so many. I've been in law, investment banking, trading, entrepreneurship, and there is no field of which I'm aware that has an association and a community like Autumn, that does so well at harvesting, building, supporting, and guiding its field unique talent pool. Third, support is on the way. Slowly but surely, our work has become the focal point of many of the world's think tanks over the last few years. Most recently, the Center for Strategic and International Studies, or CSIS, made technology transfer a fundamental piece of its national security conversation. The tides have turned a bit as to whom and with what influence is moved to tell others about the importance of investing in our work. For the first time since Bayh-Dole, the Senate passed legislation that purports to pump $4 billion behind what we do. And even if the federal government doesn't act now, they should. We've seen unprecedented funding to build new resources to advance our work in the form of university-affiliated venture funds, alumni angel networks, social impact funds, pitch competitions, and deep tech accelerators. There is no precipice here, just a trampoline to new levels and types of partners that understand their role better now and come willing to support. And our employers, our universities, our research institutions, our companies are turning the page on cost centers and administrative units to rebrand what we do, to raise up our umbrellas so that they might cover things like industry partnering, social innovation, and proof of concept mechanisms. The laissez-faire attitude is slowly becoming carpe diem action. And we're seeing this evidence all over, from new TTOs being developed to established ones being expanded. Fourth, Autumn has your back. Sounds corny, but as my 8-year-old daughter, Gia, told me recently when I asked her if she was the teacher's pet, she said, "That's big facts, Daddy." She's cute, isn't she? I've been able to see through flying times and through very challenging pandemic periods the difference having an association like Autumn makes in the ways that aren't always easily recognizable. The magnification of the aforementioned spotlight, the training of the aforementioned talent pool, the guidance and advocacy drumming up the aforementioned support are all promised and delivered by autumn. It feels good. When times seem uncertain, to have a community that is sustained, forums that are convened, information that is curated and delivered, and a megaphone in our corner. You see, I have an amazing team, many of which are here from the University of Kentucky. Including my vice president for research that could not be here, who is about as amazing as it gets when it comes to supportive bosses, if you came to my session on Monday about how to train your dragon. Fully endorsed by Dr. Cassis, our team has an operating model that we've crafted and opted into together, voluntarily, and one of our team's core principles is what we call the law of abundance. It means this: there's always plenty of opportunity. Technology transfer can sometimes be discouraging because we don't always win. Not every discovery is licensed. Not every license generates revenue. Not every startup finds an exit. But rather than take the viewpoint that this next discovery has a low chance of success, we have all agreed, right, to take a half bourbon glass full perspective on every asset, every project, case, and startup. That this is a great big old world and there's an abundance of opportunity out there for any deal to happen. Not just a shots on goal approach, but an every shot can go in approach. This is what is expected of us as tech transfer professionals, and this is why I believe we are also resilient. I hope to lead Autumn forward for the next year with this law of abundance perspective, because optimism is our secret weapon. The board has teed up a fantastic strategic plan for 2022 to 2024. And as I take a moment to outline it, I hope you'll see that Autumn is creating an abundance of opportunity for you as members. To ensure that those who engage with Autumn have an abundance of knowledge, tools, training, and shared connections that they need to be successful, Autumn will design and create training opportunities, things like career development pathways, career pathway development, and Autumn adjacent materials like investments, accelerators, and economic development. We will focus more on nuanced perspectives, not on a one-size-fits-all, offering content based on time in the profession, geographic location, and special communities. To ensure that Autumn is the trusted voice to promote the abundance of social impact and value of research commercialization, Autumn will increase the understanding of technology transfer to senior research leadership at research institutions and communicate more frequently with members to provide up-to-date information about important topics and critical legislation. To ensure an abundance of opportunity to connect and engage, Autumn plans to expand industry participation beyond biotech, materials, agriculture, and pharma, and develop a broader view of partnering beyond just patent licensing. We also plan to provide increased opportunity to engage with Autumn leadership and with those industry partners. And finally, to ensure that our membership is representative of the broad and diverse perspectives that are so abundant in our world and in our industry, I promise that Autumn will be even more intentional about being inclusive and identifying new and emerging voices and participants, and will promote equity, diversity, and inclusion across the breadth of Autumn as a fabric of who we are and what we do. Importantly, we will continue to innovate with optimism that our tinkering will always help improve what we do in some way. I don't take this responsibility lightly. And if I've done the job the board selected me to do, we will be more inclusive, engaging, communicative, in a prepared industry next year to take on that spotlight, to show off our talent with some swagger, receive new partners and support with open arms, and look over our shoulder to see that Autumn is always there to help. Winston Churchill said, "A pessimist sees the difficulty in every opportunity. An optimist sees the opportunity in every difficulty." What we do is difficult. And now we're doing it in even more difficult times. But what we do is to create opportunity for research discovery, a chance, a shot on goal that could go in. opportunity to protect our nation's, any nation's security, opportunity to improve our health and well-being, opportunity to increase the efficacy of materials, devices, and systems. While others may not always be so optimistic about what we do, we know the opportunity at hand with every technology that we touch, and that, my friends, is our secret weapon. To everyone here that braved uncontrolled forces to gather with us to learn, connect, grow, and share, thank you. It has been a fantastic time, and it is my sincere hope that you will leave here optimistic for what lies ahead. There is an abundance of opportunity out there. Go get it. Thank you.